Yo, call me a Sonic Nation though. I'm feeling really temptation. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids. Today and only today, we have some breaking news, and also it's time for one of those prediction days. So basically what happened was the website for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds literally updated with a tag that says many more to be announced on the free characters tab. It actually used to just be full, but now when you go on the free guest character tab right after Amigo, it just says many more to be announced soon. So we have our semi, confirmation that we have more characters to come. So now that we know that there are free characters coming as well as year 2, I thought it would be fun to finally do our year 2 Sonic Racing CrossWorlds prediction. So sit down, relax, enjoy the video, and subscribe, and let's get right into this, man. All right, now before we get into speculating year 2, let's go and look at our year 1 speculation. I made a video predicting year 1 Sonic characters before the game was out. So let's see what I got right here. So, okay, I got Ruby Rose right. I got the wrong Knuckles. I did get Prime Sonic. I think that was my confirmation. I'm saying my confirmation. I think that was one of my predictions. So there's that. These characters did not get in. Sage ended up getting in, which I got at least. And then I was wrong about Maria. I thought Maria might have been a character, but they didn't do it. Tangle, I got right. Tangle Whisper, actually, I got right there. No Aegis. Ichiban, I got right. Red, I got right. Miku, I got correct. No movie Sonic and Shadow, no Mephiles, no Beat, no Chaos, no Mascots, no Ulala, no guy from Skies of Arcadia, no Infinite, none. I got nothing wrong. I got everything wrong here besides Tangle Whisper. That was my only. Tangle Whisper, Ichiban, and Red were my only gets over here. So, I'll take it. I guess I'll take it. But now we are here with year 2. And so what I'm going to do for year 2 is, how many did we get for characters that were free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 12. I'm going to predict 10. I'm going to assume that we're going to get 10 free characters. I feel like it's not going to be 12 like the initial roster. Technically, it was 13 or more if you include Werehog, Sonic, and, the Prime characters. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start with rolling here. My first character that I'm going to predict here, right? I'm gonna try to mix things between being weird and being logical, because upon looking at the first initial wave of characters, a lot of them are promotional. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Captain Majima's for the Pirate Yakuza game. Red's getting a movie. Puyo Puyo is always relevant, especially nowadays in Japan. Classic Sonic is just Classic Sonic. Axel is getting the Crazy Taxi game. Amigo had a game on Switch come out, I think a year ago. Aya is always relevant. Knights is a legacy pick. So there's definitely a mix that's going on here. So the first character that I'm going to grab over here, I'm thinking, is actually Sakura from Sakura Wars. I feel like, I'm looking at this list of characters we've had. There's a lack of anime girl. I guess we have Miku, who counts as that, but I feel like, Sakura Wars is one of, Sega's franchises. I think it's like a dating sim / JRPG type game that has a lot of legacy between them. I feel like she would just be a fun addition. I like her model, I like her design, and I feel like she could come with some fun, stickers and additions. So she's gonna be my first character prediction for year 2. Second prediction. Ooh, I like where our head's at, guys. I like where our head's at. Second one, Neo Metal. I think we're going to need more regular Sonic characters added to the game. And I feel like with that Sonic animated special coming out later this year that's focusing on Metal Sonic as well as the movie, I feel like they're going to want to find a way to sort of give you more Metal Sonic. And what better way to do it than a sick Neo Metal design with some new tricks? Maybe you'd be on Extreme Gear. I would love a Neo Metal. I feel like that would be a really cool pick for a year 2. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say right here, Neo Metal is my second prediction, and I'm totally not coping. Next up, boom, Ulala. I feel like Ulala, it's shocking she didn't make it in year 1, but I feel like she seems to me like a legacy Sega pick that I just feel like needs to be in the game eventually. We even know that some of her songs are going to be in the game. When they showed the latest trailer for Axel Classic and Amigo, some of her songs are in the game, which honestly, kind of might deconfirm her, honestly, even though I don't want her to. But I don't know. I feel like not having Ulala in the game feels wrong. There's something about, the legacy style of you know, Sonic characters that to me she feels part of for when it comes to Sega, and so I would be shocked if she didn't make it in the game eventually. All right, next up, boom. I'm still sticking to this prediction with the movie coming up later this year. I feel like movie Sonic and movie Shadow will have their own design, you know, I mean, which they do have their own design. They're gonna come with their own vehicle. I think they will be a bundle pack, just like Tango and Whisper were. And I feel like, you know, they might come with new extreme gear, or I feel like it would be a car. I don't know, there's something about them that gives me car, but I don't know. Sonic to me feels like a character that like is their Goku, where like they can milk different versions of him coming out. And so yeah, I'm gonna say, you know, to coincide with the movie release, we are gonna get movie Sonic and movie Shadow as one bundled character. It could be Sonic, movie Sonic, and movie Amy, but yeah, I think listen, I'm gonna predict it as a Sonic movie free DLC. You know what I mean? So we'll see which ones get in there. But yeah, that's my next one. The one after that I'm gonna go with is the Akira from Virtua Fighter. So when it comes to Virtua Fighter, right, the game is, we're getting a new Virtua Fighter game. They were promoting it like crazy at Summer Games Fest. They were giving it its own showcase and everything. And I feel like, yeah, this one just makes sense to me to add to the game. You know, even if I don't necessarily care for this character, I feel like, you know, giving some love to Virtua Fighter as a legacy Sega IP and using it as cross promo for the new game just makes a lot of sense. All right, next up, boom, Yu Narukami. I was shocked that we got two Yakuza characters in year one, but only one, you know, Persona character. And I feel like with the upcoming Persona 4 revival, I feel like it's time for a second Persona rep. I originally thought it was going to be, you know, the Metaphor guy, but I feel like now that enough time has passed, I feel like, you know, the Metaphor dude might not just be in the cards. I feel like going with Yu Narukami is like a safer pick of like, hey, you get, you know, he gets maybe to do a taunt where like he breaks the card, he gets like a cut in, stuff like that. I feel like it'd be an easy festival to do where you get like your Teddy stickers and you get some Persona 4 music in there to, you know, promote the new remake coming up. So yeah, I'm gonna say Yu Narukami is another character that I'm predicting in here. And for my next pick, boom, Lin, this is Lin and Ren, right? Or is it Luke and Ren? I had to look it up. I was right. It is Lin and Ren. So we know because of data mines that they're doing a second Miku festival. And from the stickers that were in it, it's not looking like Teto is part of the deal. But I feel like Luke and Rin are popular enough and could be a duo pack where you just press them, you can tap between them, that like, I feel like, you know, they would be a really fun addition to the game. I would even love if they were in one card together. That would be awesome if they were like one of the first like in-card duos in the game. Like it'd be awesome if you didn't pick between one, like they were just like both on Extreme Gear together, or they were both in a card together. I don't know how they would figure that out with some of the vehicle types, but I think Lin and Ren feel very possible, especially with the knowledge of a Miku festival too. And on top of the Miku festival year two, I do think that, you know, Miku is going to get a second costume in the game. That's just, you know, speculation. You know, I'm not gonna add it to the prediction board, but yeah, I feel like Miku is gonna get a second announcement in there. And then next up we have, boom, we gotta have another Sega or Sonic character in there. I'm gonna say Surge. I think Surge is another character that, you know, since we got Tango and Whisper, I feel like the next step, if you're going to continue the IDW representation, is getting Surge in there, you know, start building that popularity for potential future cameos and appearances. You know, I mean, I can't wait, bro. I don't think she would come with Kit. As much as I like Kit, you know, Surge and Kit as like a potential duo, which they might do, I do feel like they are going to mainly lean on Surge for this one, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Next character is one that did not make it to year one, but is most certainly making it to year two, and that is Beat from Jet Set Radio. We literally know the Jet Set Radio game is coming. It's leaked 5,566,000 times on top of the initial announcement a few years back. But yeah, I think, you know, Beat in CrossWorlds is just, he's a matter of when. Not, you know, he's not a matter of if, he's a matter of when. And so yeah, I still think on year two at some point, maybe early next year, he'll be a character job. But yeah, I think he's in the game, no question. Beat is going to be the year two rep for later in the year. And last but not least, I think Sega, you know, and Sonic team might want a legacy rep, and that is Billy Hatcher. I feel like Billy Hatcher is like, you know, you get the fun cartoony pick in a sense, you get a legacy Sonic team pick. he was in previous Sonic Racing games. I just feel like he makes so much sense on, like, you know, a Sonic team perspective. Maybe it's not going to be to promote anything coming out. I mean, they could drop a Sonic, you know, I would love a Billy Hatcher remaster port of some kind. But yeah, I think Billy Hatcher makes a lot of sense. And honestly, looking at this prediction for year 2, this would be a pretty banger year 2 of free characters. You know what I mean? I feel like you get a good mix of like anime with like Scrimblows with like some Sonic characters. I obviously know a lot of people want more Sonic stuff in general, but I feel like this is pretty decent for, you know, some free picks. So I'm cool with this. Obviously in the comment section below, let me know what you would take for the free character picks yourselves. All right, now let's get into the big one. Now we know that year 2 is happening. We know that obviously it's super clear that they're going to try to hit the Japanese market a lot more this time around. We've got Godzilla already announced and Evangelion. This is very much, hey, how do we get Japan to give a shit about us? And it's working. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people saw that the trailer in Japan had more views than the one in the West. So it's working in some way. And so I figured today what we would do is we would try to figure out the first 4 packs. Now, I have come up with my answers. And again, I want you guys to play along with me. My first prediction is going to be, boom, Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is going to be one of the packs. Now, the reason for it is, while I know Demon Slayer is an expensive IP, Sega already has the license to work on the games, right? They work on, you know, they're the ones that publish the, you know, the, what is it called? The Demon Slayer fighting games, right? The Cyber Connect 2 ones, right? They even publish that board game. So I feel like because Sega has such a strong relationship with the IP and has the models for the video game, could you imagine how cool an Infinity Castle track in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds would be? That would be like so mind-blowing. It would be so much fun, you know, and obviously you would probably do, you know, the main trio as the playable racers. You'd probably do, I mean, maybe if they want to get a girl in the mix, they could get, you know, what's her name? Nezuko. It could be like, it could probably be like Nezuko, Tanjiro, and it would probably be Zenitsu, to be honest with you, right? I feel like those would be the 3 that they'd go with. I don't think they would go with all 4. They wouldn't go with, what's his name? Whatever the Boarhead's guy name, of course I'm blanking on it. But yeah, I think Demon Slayer is a surefire, like, it's happening. I have no doubt in my mind that Demon Slayer is going to be one of the packs in there. And I hope I'm not wrong, right? Because my next prediction, and I hope over here, is, boom, Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter is an extremely likely case because, one, I feel like Street Fighter fits that sort of like, you know how like Sonic has been like recruiting characters from Smash, right? That he's hung out with before, right? Whether it's like Pac-Man, Mega Man, you know, but Mario can't pull up. I feel like, you know, Street Fighter is another massive IP that wouldn't be impossible because Sega and Capcom are buddies. You know, there's been a lot of Sonic crossovers with, what's it called? There's been a lot of Sonic crossovers with Monster Hunter over the years. And while they haven't done any with Street Fighter yet, I do feel like having Chun-Li and Ryu in your game would be pretty massive. You know what I mean? And you could get like a cool stage where maybe, you know, it's Guile's stage. You get, you know, the castle from Street Fighter 2 in there. Or even you could get like the city from Street Fighter 6 if they want to go like with modern promotion. Either way, like you could do something really cool with a Street Fighter stage. But yeah, I feel like if they were going to do this pack, it would be that. I think the characters would be like Chun-Li, maybe probably Ryu, and what's his name? They could do the main guy from 6. What's his name? Luke, right? If they wanted to do some Street Fighter 6 cross promo type beat. But yeah, I feel like a Street Fighter pack is not impossible, especially with, like I said, the relationship that Sega and Capcom have together. They've worked together on like multiple projects and ideas before, so I don't think it is an impossibility. Right, my next prediction for pack 5, boom, DC. I feel like, you know, there has been the long-running Sonic X DC comics. They have toys going around. And I feel like, you know, while this doesn't hit the Japanese market the same way, I feel like they're still going to want to represent, you know, video games and other mediums. Yeah, I feel like having 3 anime-centered things with, you know, a video game thing and then a comics thing is a good idea. Now, I feel like the world, they could do whatever they want with this pack. You know, they could give the Sonic characters DC costumes, or they could just add, you know, Batman, Superman, probably Wonder Woman, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like those would be the 3 if they were going to add characters into the game, right? You could obviously, I mean, with tracks, you could do a million ideas. You could do it on, you know, is it Daily Bugle? Is that the area where there's like Metropolis, right? That's one of the areas. You could do, you know, Superman's planet if you want. You could obviously do Gotham, right? You could do like a mix, right? Where like it's a stage, it's a city area where like, you know, you're seeing a lot of DC villains fly in, like shooting things, right? Like I just think there's so many ideas they could do. And again, they are literally like very good partners with DC right now. And this would literally only benefit both of them. You know what I mean? Like this would just be a pure beneficial relation for both IPs. So yeah, I would gladly take this. I feel like it could be one of the packs in here. And then last but not least, I think this is going to be a weird one. Sanrio. I think Sanrio is a IP where, all right, you get a really unique mix of people here, right? One, you get the Japanese market, right? Two, everyone likes Hello Kitty characters, and I feel like they haven't had like a cute pack. You know what I mean? I feel like justifiably there should be like a cute pack, you know, that might even draw in, you know, like people that just like buying the merch, or even younger fans, or even the older fans that just love these characters. They've worked with Sanrio a bunch on merchandise, and I feel like, you know, you could have like a fun, cute, bubbly stage with a Sanrio X CrossWorlds pack. Again, this is a very weird one, but I feel like they're gonna do it, man. I don't know what, like, something in my gut tells you that, like, because of their relationship with Sanrio, with the merch and all the stuff that they do together and the custom artwork, I just feel like it's a match made in heaven, man. I mean, to be honest with you, I would love Hello Kitty in CrossWorlds. Like, you know, just playing as Hello Kitty would be like fantastic. I would love that. I think it would be such a fun idea. And yeah, man, I think, like, to me, when I look at this year 2 lineup, I feel like this makes a lot of sense to me. Now, please, obviously, in the comment section below, let me know what you guys think of, you know, your paid and free DLC character packs. The one last thing that I wanted to potentially talk about and speculate just a little bit here is what kind of free content can we also expect for year 2? I'm expecting more music drops because it feels like they've just been doing that regularly. I'm expecting more sticker drops, so they're just going to keep having random stickers to the game. But obviously, a big thing people have been wanting is more stages, right? I feel like one thing the game lacks is CrossWorlds, right? Obviously, we get a new stage every time there's a DLC character, but I feel like it would be nice if they added like a few free CrossWorlds, you know, based on maybe some of the characters in the game. Maybe you can do a Miku themed, you know, CrossWorld in there, or even a new Sonic level. Like, just, dude, throw in a Green Hill Zone, right? You know what I mean? Throw in a Sky Sanctuary. Throw in, like, what are the easy picks that you guys could do? I mean, where's Kingdom Valley? I feel like Kingdom Valley would be such a fun stage to go through. I would love something like that. So, yeah, I feel like we will probably get a potential handful of CrossWorlds. I'm not sure, though. But, yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that this game is getting a year 2. You know what I mean? It's very rare for some of these, you know, racing games or stuff to get even more content. And despite, you know, Sega and talking about how the game underperformed, it does seem like Sonic Team sees this game as a success. Now, another final thing that I want them to add into the game is I want an elimination mode. I feel like that would be like just an additional mode that would get people really excited to get good at the game, learn it, and rank up. You know what I mean? A knockout tour / elimination mode where, hey, like, you're constantly going through crossroads, but every time you go through a crossroad, the people at the bottom 2 maybe, like, you know, they die, right? They break, their car breaks, and like a spectator mode would be so nice to the game, right? But now I'm getting into more things I want rather than predictions. But yeah, guys, let me know. Obviously, do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you think I've cooked with these picks? Do you think I'm missing something obvious? I'm very curious to see what you guys are thinking for the paid packs in the game. I wonder, like, obviously, you know, I've always wanted Dragon Ball, but I feel like Toei / Dragon Ball is a little bit of a difficult IP to work with. I feel like they are a very, very, very expensive IP to work with. And like I said, the only reason I feel like they got Demon Slayer is because, like, if you look at, to be honest, Godzilla, Evangelion, and Demon Slayer, like, especially Godzilla and Evangelion, I feel like those two, like, they collab with anybody at any point at any time. So I feel like it's not a very difficult thing to have gotten these two as opposed to potentially a Dragon Ball. Dude, I would even love a One Piece collab. I would gladly take a One Piece collab. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what is your speculation. Of course, I will see you all next time. Peace out.